Under pressure to deliver details, Theresa May's speech was billed as a major step on the road to Brexit.
We all need to face up to some hard facts. We're leaving the single market. Life is going to be different. In certain ways, our access to each other's markets will be less than it is now.
Europe has said it will not allow Britain to cherry-pick the best bits of EU membership. May countered that she wanted the deepest possible relationship.
The fact is that every free trade agreement has varying market access depending on the respective interests of the countries involved. If this is cherry-picking, then every trade arrangement is cherry-picking.
May said Britain would remain closely bound to Europe in many areas, including associate membership of EU medicines, chemical and aviation agencies. Business groups welcomed that clarity, but analysts say there is still too little detail.
She just says things like, we want to maintain the prosperity of the country, we want to respect the referendum result. I don't think there's anything new in the way the objectives are laid out.
Among the most contentious issues remains the border between the Irish Republic and Northern Ireland. There are fears any physical frontier could rekindle sectarian violence. The EU has proposed keeping the north within its customs union, but that was strongly rejected by London.
In all these areas, bold and creative thinking can deliver new agreements that are in the very best interests of all our people, both in the UK and across the EU.
But Europe appears less willing to compromise. The EU's chief Brexit negotiator warned this week Britain's so-called red lines prevent any special deal.
The UK is closing the door on itself, one by one, and the only possible model that remains is that of the free trade agreement, as we did recently with Canada, we are dealing with Japan or Korea.
Britain faces negotiating new terms with the EU and around 60 other countries that have free trade agreements with Europe.
About half our trade is with the EU, and about another 10 to 15% is with the countries that we have free trade agreements with. We're going to lose those free trade agreements because they automatically lapse as we leave the EU. The government seems to feel that we'll be able to get new and better ones. Now, I think this is very questionable.
Theresa May said her message to Europe was, let's get on with it. Britain has a year to strike a deal. The odds on a so-called hard Brexit are shortening. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.